Hi, everybody. Welcome to another round of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I am JB in this chair once again, stepping inside the cage. Six-time All-Star, World Series MVP, World Series champ, Ron Say. Ron, thanks for hanging out with me and some fans.
JB, glad to be here.
It should be a good time. Folks, you know how this works. Don't put it all on me. Get your webcams fired up. Talk to Ron Say directly. Get some FaceTime with your favorite players. MLB legend right there. We got a lot of tweets coming in, lots of questions under the hashtag Chatting Cage nomenclature. So let's go there first while you get the webcam fired up. And I'm going to go to less is more. Ron, what's your proudest moment on the baseball field?
I think it's everybody's professional hope that you can win a World Series and play in that fabulous event. And we did it a number of times, and 1981 was the time that we walked away with the World Championship trophy, and it was one of the MVPs in that series.
Absolutely thrilling memory. I have no doubt about that. An exciting time for everybody, for Ron Say in particular, as he took that MVP trophy home. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. That's Ron Say. I'm JB. Get your webcam fired up. Meanwhile, Twitter has this to ask from MLB Lifer. Ron, how has the position and the game changed since you retired?
360 degrees. The young players in today, the mentality of these kids is a great deal different than certainly with the players that I played with. The coaching staff is one when you came into to Major League Baseball. Probably had a name in baseball that you recognized, and they made more money than the players coming into the game at that point in time. So there was a great deal of respect, I think, at that point in time. Today that has changed and gone the other way. The young players in today make a great deal more than the coaches in today's game. And they don't know too much about the history and tradition, nor much about the pioneers who came before them. So it's changed a great deal. Change is inevitable. It's one of those things where the coaches now, I think, have to adjust to the players more than they ever have in the past.
There you have it, folks. Thoughts from Ron San on the change in both the position and the play and the players and the coaches, that relationship. As we continue the Edward Jones Chatting Cage, a fan joins us right now. What's your name, where you're from? What's your question for Ron?
Hi, I'm Corey from Merrick, New York, and I've been a big fan of yours, Ron, since your Dodgers days back in the 70s. But some question about something off the field, what you thought of your singing and acting careers that you tried back then, and if you had ever thought about pursuing either of those things again.
Thank you, Corey, for your questions. Not much, actually. It was all done in fun. Back then, we had probably a more direct relationship to Hollywood and the stars than we do today here. But the singing venture was done out of fun. It was a baseball jingle, playing the third base bag and one game at a time. It was done in 1976 on long ball records, and I think we sold 30 worldwide. And outside of my acting career, of playing appearing in a few shows here and there, Columbo was probably my biggest hit. But like I said, it was all done in fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun, actually, and I got to say, part of the Edward Jones fun here at the Chatting Cage is get fans of all stripes to step in the cage and be a part of what's going on, so we appreciate Corey from Merrick asking that question. Ron, that seems like an era, like, as you said, things have changed, both in baseball but sports in general. That was something you could go do and have fun, and it didn't get, you could actually just go do it. It was something you did in your spare time and people could appreciate it. It seems like that's out of balance now, too. You might not have a chance to go do that now. What do you think?
Yeah, well, some people asked me, he should get serious and stick to his night job. And anybody who was listening to the music back then should have taken it in jest and understood that it was just for fun and it was nothing more than a baseball jingle.
There you have it, folks. Thoughts on acting and performing from Ron Say off the baseball diamond. We have lots more here in the Edward Jones chatting cage. Get your webcam fired up. Join Ron and myself right here on the show. Be in the cage. Get FaceTime with your favorite World Series MVP in Ron Say. Meanwhile, I will go back to Twitter and let's do it this way. It's pretty simple. Say Hey Kid wants to know, is it exciting for you to see both the Cubs and the Dodgers right in the thick of it here this late in the season?
Yes, absolutely. The Cubs are my second team. My family lived in Chicago. My wife was born there and raised there, went to the University of Wisconsin. So it was probably the best place that I could have gone after leaving the Dodgers for so long. And, of course, we won a divisional title in 1984 and came real close, lost in the final game of the NLCS. And Detroit ended up being the world champion that year. But it was a great place for me to go. I'm thrilled that the Cubs are back in the mix. They certainly do have a solid hold on the second wild card at this point in time. So I'm hoping that not only the Cubs get in, but I'm hoping we can hang on to the National League West title as well.
All right, there you have it, folks. Two great storylines as we approach that prized October that we all look forward to so much this point in the season. Things are heating up. We have a great fan stepping inside the cage. Now, what's your name, where you're from? What's your question for Ron?
Yeah, hey guys, my name is Marco and I'm from New Jersey. My question is, what are your impressions of Chris Bryant and the Cubs' press rookie class?
Right now, I did a little Red Bull commercial in his behalf when he was still in the minor leagues, because the Cub fans were hoping that, this beginning of the season wasn't anything more than a business move, and that the eligible day that he could be called up was, in fact, honored, and he then became a starting third baseman for the Cubs. And I think he's done a terrific job up to this point. I think he's got 20 home runs. He's got 70-some RBIs. He's getting used to playing every day. I'm sure that over a period of time, defensively, he'll probably get a lot better. But I'm very encouraged by what I've seen, not only from Chris, but the younger players as well on the Cubs team that occupy important spots on that club, and their hopes for having a team that's going to be in the middle of a number of playoff runs in the future. So he's got a big plus going on right now.
Chris Bryant, one of the great stories in Chicago baseball in Wrigley, is exciting, and people are getting their hopes up. Fans are fired up, looking forward to the end of the season, see if the Cubs can do what they got to get done to go deep into October. I'll go back to Twitter while you get your webcam fired up, fans. And let's go to Bobo the Hobo. Ron, who are your biggest role models when you were growing up?
Oh, boy. Giant fans are going to love this one. Willie Mays was my favorite player when I was a kid growing up. And we had a situation where I was growing up in Tacoma, Washington, where we had the AAA affiliate of the San Francisco Giants, and a strong backer and part owner in the San Francisco Giants organization, living in Tacoma. He was a lumberman, and the stadium there, the AAA affiliate stadium, was named after him, Ben Cheney. It was called Cheney Stadium. So, being a local kid, I had all these Giants that were now going on to prominence in the major leagues, and I got to see most of them go through there. But of course, at that point, Willie Mays was already a star in San Francisco and previously with the New York Giants. But it took me a while to come around to dealing with the fact that my favorite player was Willie Mays, but was and always has been. And the first game I ever saw on television was a game broadcast back from Brooklyn. It was the Dodgers and somebody else, but that's a little bit of irony there. I don't know exactly how that's supposed to work out, but
there you have it, folks. Willie Mays is the answer. I know, Giants fans, the Bay Area and Southern California, definitely taking note of that one. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. That's Ron Say sitting there taking your questions and answering them as you get your webcams fired up and join us right here in the cage. Get FaceTime with Ron. Meanwhile, I'll go to Twitter, and this one looks pretty cool. It's set up for, looks like mid-January, but at Monday 007 wants to know, Dodgers and White Sox working together, fantasy camp, how do I get there?
Well, you can go to Dodgers.com. I'm sure you have the other information that you can pass on to them. But we are taking our fantasy camp that has been in Vero Beach, Florida, the home of Dodger Town, and our spring training facility for so many years, and now moving it out to our new complex, if you call it new, the Glendale Camelback Ranch. And we're going to hook on with the Chicago White Sox and have a dual camp. And it's from January 18th through the 24th, and you can get all that information about the camp at Dodgers.com. And we plan to have a very busy week. Our group will have Rick Monday, Steve Yeager, Eric Karros, Tom Lasorda, and myself and the moment, and with the addition to add more players depending on how many campers we actually get to come to camp. But we're expecting a good turnout. We actually will have a real World Series of fantasy camp. The final game will be between the Dodgers winner on our side and the White Sox winner. So we're looking forward to having a great week with all those campers.
I love that concept to actually have a big World Series finale there between the Dodgers and the White Sox. That sounds really exciting. So how big is the camp? What's the goal for, and this is for personally, do you need a host to do anything there at any point?
I'm not sure if I understand the host part of it.
That was me trying to get to the fantasy camp, Ron, without actually having to sign up for it. But I'll sign up just like everybody else. Dodgers.com.
Okay, I got you. All right.
I can get out there and call the games is basically what I'm trying to say. Very exciting, though, between
that would be good. You're welcome to come.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Awesome. Dodgers, White Sox in Arizona, which is a big shift from Vero Beach. So check that out, Dodgers.com. It'll be an awesome time there in January to go enjoy that. That's Ron Say. I'm JB. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. Fans have been fired up to talk to you so far. We're going to stay with Twitter. Lots is going on. Let's go back to, I like this one a lot. I know it's a pitcher's question, but I think you can handle it there, Ron. This is Cali Joy 18 wants to know, do you think anybody will ever beat the Hershiser record for consecutive scoreless innings?
Well, in baseball, it's always possible. Look what Lou Gehrig did, and look what who came behind that, Cal Ripken Jr. Mm-hmm. You look at the game that I played in 1974 when Henry Aaron broke Babe Ruth's all-time home run record, and guess what happened? That got broke too. So I would say, yeah, there's a chance. Probably not a great one, but it's certainly possible.
Outstanding. And before we let you go, this last one, because I think it'll be interesting to hear how you might summarize it. Wrigley Love 45 wants to know, what would Chicago be like if the Cubs do win the World Series?
Oh, it'll be the place to be. Trust me. When we were there in 1984, they hadn't won a divisional title in 39 years, and I remember the press coming into the clubhouse probably the last 3 weeks of the season, and we were enjoying a pretty good margin over the second place New York Mets team at that point in time, who had Doc Gooden and Gary Carter and Keith Hernandez, Darryl Strawberry, to mention a few, Ron Darling. They had a terrific club, and the press in Chicago really didn't understand that. We were in good shape, and I had played in 4 World Series, won a World Championship, along with the guy next to me in the infield, Larry Boa. So we were pretty sure that because we were healthy and playing well, that this thing was going to turn out. But they just didn't know what to do with themselves. And when we finally clinched the divisional title in Pittsburgh, Chicago went upside down. And it's really unfortunate that we couldn't have pulled off that NLCS championship, going to the final game before losing, and host a World Series in Chicago. It would be a great sight. Trust me.
I have no doubt about that. That's well said. It's great stories there from Ron Say. Ron, for the fans, for myself, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to be with us today. Did you have a good time?
JB, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. That's Ron Say. I'm JB. We'll see you next time on another round of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage.